Well, hello, it's me, Coach Carmen, Kingdom Health, Purpose, and Empowerment Coach, here with you this beautiful, rainy December Saturday. Yes. So, why do I want to talk about pie with you? The reason why is because there's some things about pie you may not know about. And since I have taken this journey of wellness, I had to learn how to prepare food that was healthy for my body, that was healing for my body, but still delicious. And one of the things I've learned is that people have a thing about pie. So I tried to figure out, well, if people have a thing about pie, I better figure out how to make pie beautiful and delicious and healthy. So let's talk about the history of pie for a minute. Now, pie has been around for a long, long time. And there's something about pie that's very comforting. When you have a piece of pie, if someone offers you a piece of pie, just think about it. Someone will ask you, would you like a piece of cake? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take a piece of cake. But when someone says, would you like a piece of pie? There's something that happens to you. You feel like a warm, cozy feeling inside. It's like a piece of pie. Yes, I'll take a piece of pie. Did you make it? Was it homemade? Yeah, I made this pie. Oh my goodness, you made the pie yourself? I definitely want a piece of that pie. And think about grandma. I mean, when grandma made that pie, oh my goodness, you felt like nothing was wrong in the world when you sat down and had that piece of pie. And so we went through Thanksgiving, and I'm sure most of you had some pie. So we all have a family member that makes the best pie. So for me, being a woman from, well, my parents are from the South. I was born in New York, but my parents are from South Carolina. So, of course, I was brought up on pie, and one of our favorite pies in the family was sweet potato pie. So if you are an African American or a Native American, you could probably relate to the sweet potato pie. In fact, there's been songs made about sweet potato pie. Remember the one, I'm all messed up and I don't know why? Cut me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. I love that song. Yes. So when we visit with family and it's time for dessert, you have that pie after you had that big meal. You're like, oh my goodness, it is it. This is it. I'm done. I feel so good. But do you really feel good? You feel good in your soul, but your body is saying, what the heck did you just do to me? Okay. Your body's like, oh, first of all, you gave me all that food. Now you're giving me all this sugar and this dough and all of this, the flour and the leavening and all of this um, stuff that I can't process that well. The all the organs are like speaking to you, like, what are you doing? You know, I don't know why. You gave me that piece of pie. But your soul, your mind, will, and emotions are like, oh, that pie was so awesome. You're like, oh, that pie was so good. Oh, I feel so comforted and loved. But the body ain't having it. So let me tell you something. I decided that I'm going to do whatever I can to make the most amazing pie. That's raw vegan. Why raw vegan? Raw vegan because, first of all, that means it's not cooked, which means if it's not cooked, there's no eggs, no butter, and no flour. It's all healthy, good stuff that you can eat without it being cooked, which means that it has life. So let's talk about sweet potato pie. Sweet potato pie is made of sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are so good for you. And because they're orange, it means that there's a lot of beta carotenes, a lot of good stuff in sweet potatoes that your body really appreciates and can use as fuel because it's a slow burning sugar, right? So now if I took That's sweet potatoes. And I made a pie, but I added refined sugar and eggs and butter and the flour to make it stiff. And of course, the pie crust with the lard and God knows what else in there. It wouldn't be very healthy. But if I could grate the sweet potatoes and blend them up with beautiful spices and coconut oil and some other ingredients that are totally healthy that you can eat uncooked to make it look like a pie and taste like a pie. Put it in a dehydrator. Let's talk about the crust. The crust has to be perfect because if you're from the South, you can't be making like, if you go on YouTube, you look for how to make a raw, usually a pumpkin pie. The crust looks like it's not cooked. They just take the nuts and the raisins or just flatten it down on the pan, the pie pan, and then they put the filling on top. No, if you're from the South, that's not going to be enough. You're going to need something that looks like a crust. So I decided to figure out how to do that. And I worked on this recipe and I ended up with this amazing pie. Now, this pie, actually, I made it last week. So it's not as pretty anymore. It's been in and out of the refrigerator. I put it in a dehydrator to heat it up. But this is my sweet potato pie. It's raw vegan and the crust is amazing. The spices. Mm. Oh. Now, my husband is from Alabama. His mother makes amazing sweet potato pies. Thank God I got her to do the detox and she understood how important it is to, because of, diabetes running in the family and all, how to cut down on the sugar in the pie. So she started cutting down on the sugar in the pie. And I told her put maple syrup instead of all the sugar. And so she's been doing that and that's wonderful. But still has a lot of sugar and all the other things in there. So I gave this pie I made to my husband to taste, actually to eat. He ate the whole thing. And I'm telling you, I was so amazed. He thought it was delicious. He thought it was absolutely wonderful. And most importantly, he loved the way it made him feel after he ate it. It made him feel good. So then let's talk about Coach Shanice, my dear friend, sister from another mister. She actually finally got a piece of the pie. She's been wanting to get the pie, so she finally came over yesterday, and I gave her a piece of the pie. I wrapped it up. She came and she picked it up, and she texted me, "OMG!" I was like, "What's the matter?" I texted her back, "What's the matter?" She said, "That pie." So we had a coach certification training this morning, and we were talking about the pie again. We were talking about how powerful it is to be able to offer people, as coaches, food and desserts that's so healthy and healing, but so delicious. Like if you can make a pie that makes you feel good inside and out and healing, like that's amazing. So she was telling the ladies that she said that pie was so good. It did not taste like it was raw. It tastes like it was cooked. That made my heart feel so good because I didn't know whether people would say that or not. I didn't think they would really. I mean, because that would have been like the ultimate. That's asking for too much. How could you expect people to think that this raw vegan pie was cooked? She said, tastes like it was cooked. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have mentioned her name because I have to tell you this part. So anyway, so she came from visiting her family, and a family member made a sweet potato pie. She put it in the freezer, and she had two pieces of that sweet potato pie. And needless to say, she ended up with complications in her stomach. Yeah, complications in her stomach. She didn't feel good. My husband picked up his pie that was frozen in his mom's freezer. And he's now having, a little concern. Like, he wants the pie. He's going to eat it, but he's like, he knows that it's not going to feel like it did when he ate the raw pie. So, do you remember that scene in the third Men in Black when Tommy Lee Jones um, was? There was two of the same scene. One with Tommy Lee and Will Smith when they were young. When Tommy Lee had was young, because Will Smith went back in time, and Tommy Lee's character told Will Smith's character, let's just go to the diner and have a piece of pie, because they couldn't figure out what they were going to do with this alien Borg creature. And they sat down and they had a piece of pie. And he liked apple pie with the cheese on top. That was Tommy Lee's character. And Will Smith was like, "Ugh, I know what kind of pie you're going to want. That nasty apple pie with cheese on top." But anyway, they had the pie, and it was like they got clarity as to what to do after they sat down and had that nice piece of pie. And then later on, at the end of the movie, when Tommy Lee's adult character, who was like in the present time, sat down with Will Smith's character at the diner, and they had the pie again. And it was the same thing. It was like the pie was powerful. They called it the power of the pie. So imagine how powerful your pie would be, homemade, but healthy and healing. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, it's doable, beloved. It really is. My apple pie, oh my goodness. In fact, I'm hoping I have one more slice left. I've been rationing out that pie because people have been wanting a slice of the pie. But I've been eating it for breakfast. You see, it's not even noon yet, and I'm eating my sweet potato pie for breakfast. Why? Because it's life. It's not cooked. So the apples, they appear to be cooked because of the all of the spices in that sauce that they're in, that thick, gooey, delicious sauce. It starts to cook the apples. And same thing with the sweet potatoes. They start to break down because of all of the spices and all. And it's just sweetened with dates and raisins and apricots. So you may be saying, okay, Coach Carmen, that sounds good. Especially I have some issues going on, and I know when I do eat pie and dessert, I feel it. So you're telling me that I can make raw pies and they would be delicious, just as delicious. Yes. And then you're saying, okay, well then how do I find out about it? What do I do? Well, I finished a holiday recipe book. It's a raw holiday recipe book, and it has 6 desserts in there. 6 desserts. 2 of them are pies. One my sweet potato pie, and one my apple pie. I'll leave in the description box, I'll leave a link for the recipe book, because I have all types of holiday recipes in there that's all raw vegan. Again, why raw vegan? Because it heals you, it makes you feel good. And you may have some family members that, oh, they're going through some health issues, and it's wonderful to have the traditional foods, but why not have some healthy options? Why not have something that someone can eat even if they are going through serious health issues? I think that's very important, beloved, because sometimes we're killing our family with food. It's like tradition is one thing, but there's so many things you can do to change up a recipe a little bit to make it healthier. And I'm sure many of you are starting to do that now. But imagine so many desserts in my recipe book. I mean, I have like a chocolate mousse in there. I have, oh my goodness, a delicious, like a brownie, raw vegan. It's a lot. And of course the regular meals. Like I have a shepherd's pie recipe in there. show you how to make raw mashed potatoes and a bunch of other recipes that you are going to love. So I'll put the link below for you, okay? And but in the meantime, you can certainly go to sharingthebliss.com and grab your beautiful bundle of bliss. This is my bundle of bliss. This is a gift that I am giving. I created it for this year because I was celebrating my 40th year of being an entrepreneur and my 12th year as Coach Carmen. It has meditations in there. It has, oh my gosh, just everything you need to bring on the bliss and to heal your body and your soul, to soothe your soul, heal your body, and live your bliss. Right? You're going to love it. It's my gift to you. And all you have to do is go to my website. Yep, sharingthebliss.com. All righty. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and join the Sacred Self-Care Sisterhood. It's a beautiful online gathering of women, and it's all about self-care. Okay? All right, so enjoy this Saturday, first Saturday in December. December is my month because it's my birthday month. So love you all. Sharingthebliss.com. Grab your gift bundle there, and I'll leave the link for the recipe book so you can make this delicious sweet potato pie. That can slap yourself. Love you.